You're setting goals for 2026, but here's the truth that nobody wants to admit. Most people don't fail because their goals are too big. They fail because their identity is too small for the goals they set. And if your 2026 self is still running on 2025 identity, you're already behind. And I learned this the hard way. If you ever felt like you're doing the work, building the habits, setting the goals, but ending up at the same old you're in the right place. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact framework that helped me go from a 30-year career in retail to coaching hundreds to their 2.0 selves. Every year I wrote down goals that looked good on paper: new habits, new income, new level of confidence. And then by February, I was back to the same old version of me. It wasn't laziness. It wasn't lack of discipline. It was identity. The self-image that I built over decades kept dragging me back to my old self. That's where I discovered something Maxwell Maltz said in the book Psycho-Cybernetics. You can't outperform your self-image. You don't achieve goals. You achieve the identity that matches your goals. Think about it this way. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. Joe Dispenza puts it another way. You can't create a new future while living in the emotions of your past. That's what most people do on New Year's, January 1st. They set new goals with their conscious mind, but their subconscious is still running on last year's programming. Your nervous system will always choose what feels familiar over what feels successful. That's why goals collapse. Not because you're weak, but you didn't shift the identity first. So I've seen this up close. I have a friend who was looking to lose 25 pounds. He did all the right things. He meal prepped, joined a gym, did the workout, weighed himself every day. But at the end, he gained it all back because he didn't change his self-image first. He always saw himself as somebody who struggled with weight. So every time he made progress, he would sabotage it right back to what was familiar. Not because he couldn't do it, but because old identity kept winning. If this is speaking to you, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the 7-day to a new you challenge. It starts January 1st. It's the perfect way to start your 2026 identity shift. Now on to the goal-setting lie. There's a lie in the personal development world. Set bigger goals, dream bigger, want it more. But desire's not the problem. Napoleon Hill said that desire is the starting point, not the finishing line. If desire isn't supported by identity, it's just a fantasy. James Clear, from his book Atomic Habits, breaks it down perfectly. The ultimate form of intrinsic motivation is when a habit becomes part of your identity. You don't try to be healthy. You are a healthy person. You don't try to build wealth. You are somebody who takes wealthy actions. You don't try to be consistent. You are consistency. So the question isn't, what do you want for 2026? The real question is, who do you need to become for those goals to feel natural? All right, here we go. We're going into the identity shift framework. Here's the part most people skip. It's the identity shift. Identity isn't something you discover, it's something you decide right here, right now. First part is see it. Future self clarity. You can't step into a life you haven't pictured or envisioned. What is the future version of you that has hit that 2026 goal? What do they look like? How do they think? How do they walk into a room? What do they tolerate and what do they no longer apologize for? Write down an example of your future self right here. How do you see yourself? For me, I wake up at 5 a.m., not because I have to, because I'm excited about the future version of me. The second part of the identity shift is to feel it. Emotional rehearsal. Emotion is the glue that locks identity into place. Straight from Joe Dispenza's work, your body has to feel the future before you believe it's possible. Try this with me. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and feel the energy around your heart center. And envision the future version of you, already healthy, traveling to the place you want to travel, working at the job you wish to work at, going and doing the things that you love. Maybe it's hiking in the mountains. Maybe it's going to concerts. Feel into that. Envision it and feel it as if it's already happened. When you feel it, that sensation, that is your future identity calling you. Part 3 is action, identity-based habits. Action is how identity creates evidence. James Clear says habits confirm identity. Small daily acts that say, this is who I am now. Not big, not dramatic, just consistent. All right, write down one habit that's going to support the vision of you that you have for yourself in 2026. For me, I'm going to drink a glass of water every morning when I wake up, because that's what healthy people do. Part 4 of the identity shift is Become It, the self-image upgrade. Maxwell Maltz in the book Psycho-Cybernetics says that your brain is a servo mechanism. It moves toward the picture you hold in your mind. Change the picture you hold and your behavior automatically rises to match it. And here's the key, your brain doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined identity and a real one. So when you start rehearsing yourself mentally and emotionally, your nervous system starts believing it as reality. All right, so check it out. None of this made sense to me until I went through my own shift. For almost 3 decades, I was a store manager for Safeway and Albertsons, and I was operating as old Ken, the leader, the dependable guy, the hard worker, the man who showed up for everybody else and always put himself last. But the version of me that had a YouTube channel, that had a life coaching business, transforming people to their true purpose, that version didn't exist yet. I remember the moment of decision. It was a late night after a 12-hour shift. I was sitting at a red light and I looked up in the mirror, looking back at myself, and I didn't recognize who I was looking at. He looked exhausted, disconnected, like he was disappearing. In that moment, I knew that wasn't the Ken I was becoming anymore. And I knew I had to change my identity first. I had to stop hoping to impact lives and start becoming the person who already was. And when my identity changed, everything else followed. The habits, the clarity, the confidence, and the purpose. So if you want 2026 to be the year everything changes, here is your challenge. Ask yourself this one question. Who is the version of me in 2026 that has already accomplished all of my goals? Name them. Picture them. Feel how they feel. Move the way they move. Because if you want to change your life in 2026, you must stop waiting for results to confirm your identity. Your identity must come first. Hey, this is Ken. I help people wake up to their true purpose. If you're ready to stop setting goals based on your old identity and start becoming the person who's already achieved them, be sure to subscribe and join our 2.0 community. Don't walk into 2026 as your 2025 self. This is where your future begins.